Braxton Grant has developed a replacement product for reporters sanctioned by Broadcom called ODIN-I that first came out in early 2025. It comes out of the box with all 64 reports for Proxy SG and adds proxy syslogs and CloudSwig. It is straightforward to add support for more devices and services through Elastic's integrations. Elastic supports over 400 different sources. We've incorporated user feedback on the user interface and features and are proud to release version 2 as a major step forward. The platform delivers near real-time reporting and alerting on top of Elasticsearch with a redesigned interface focused on regular users and power users. Those versed in SQL or Elasticsearch ESQL can edit the report queries and make new reports. Let's log in. We automatically go to our default dashboard, but ODIN-I supports local accounts, which is what I just logged in with, and can integrate with secure LDAP or OIDC identity providers such as Microsoft Entra ID, Okta, Ping Identity, or Keycloak. We've added a few more report types than what you may be used to in Reporter. Everything comes down to a data source connected to a query, connected to a chart that's placed on a dashboard. Once we're on a dashboard, we can email the contents as either a PDF or a PNG in either landscape or portrait configuration to any of these recipients. We can save the PDF or the PNG. We can edit this dashboard if we're permitted to with our role-based access controls. Or we can set this page to be the current home dashboard. This icon's white instead of green, so this is my home dashboard. We can set the time frame for all of these charts in one place. It can be absolute or relative, so many days, and it can automatically refresh every 60 seconds. On each chart, we can make the chart full screen. Every chart comes with a data table, and we can export that, again, just as one chart, as either a PDF or a PNG in landscape or portrait, and we can optionally include the value table or even export the value table as a CSV. On any chart, if you find the legend, which you can turn on and off in the chart editor, and you click on an item, you can make that go away and the chart will redraw itself without the item that you clicked on. Click on it again and it returns. Next, let's talk about alerts. We have two kinds of alerts, scheduled and those triggered by data conditions. Let's look at the simpler one first. A scheduled alert just has a point in time pass, and that's the trigger. Other than that, all alerts have the same actions and history. In this one, we can send an email to these two guys with this subject. We can attach a chart. Okay. Give it some body text and pick the format of the chart. Generally in emails, PNG looks better than PDFs, but you may want to print. Change your orientation. That's the email. And then if you need to integrate to anything, you can pass the same data to a Python application, which is defined here. You can give it tags, maximum result set rows, and for the chart that you add to it, you can pick the chart time frame and what data you want to include. That's an action. History. History is nice. It gives you all the detailed histories, and of course, anytime you have a application, sometimes they run well. In this case, it's a success, and we can, from a application developer perspective, we can look at some of the detailed stuff here, which is sometimes helpful with file permissions and so on. Next, let's look at a data trigger. If the proxy is unresponsive, if the ODIN component begins with proxy-sg-ingester and the message contains no proxy-sg data received within the configured silence threshold, then that's the trigger. And we go through our actions of the Python handler or the email. And then here's our history of this one. In settings, the first setting gives you the status of all the different components of the system. There's Elasticsearch status, the status of the cluster, which is could be any number of data nodes attached, Kibana, and the license status. Okay. Next, and probably most importantly, is ingesters. How do we reliably get data into the system? We came up with this idea of ingesters, which are like device-specific agents that put data into the database. Ingesters can fork that original data and put it into a designated directory. And because of this, each ingester monitors available disk space. Each ingester also sends a heartbeat, as we can see here, and our configured interval is 5 minutes. And over the last 5 minutes, the CloudSwig ingester here has processed 42 log entries. And over the last 5 minutes, proxy-sg is 293. And the syslog has been 22. And they're all green and happy. When you see them turn yellow and red, it means something bad's happening with the ingester, and you find more detail over here. And if you get impatient, you can hit the refresh button. From the settings menu, you can back up all of your settings and load them back in. And you can also set roles. As I said before, we have role-based access control. And if we click our report admin, these are the things the report admin can do. And then we go to users, and we can assign users to a role. Okay. If we go to a dashboard, we can select the permissions on the dashboards and say which user groups can view or edit. And we could even get down to the chart level and say, so even if you're permitted to see the dashboard, maybe you're not allowed to see this particular chart on the dashboard. And this is what this looks like. Along with the system, we include Kibana, which is Elastic's user interface for developers and administrators. One of the things I like about Kibana is it can show you the data distribution of fields that you click on. Okay, and that's it for our demo. Some closing remarks that I think would be useful is you can start small with a single node. You can add additional clusters to grow. And here's some of the reasons why you would want to do that. And you can even geographically disperse all of your nodes throughout your wide area network. Our form factors are, it comes in a hardware appliance that starts at 30 terabytes, but it can be custom sizes. The virtual appliances is probably the SKUs that we sell the most of, and they come in 2, 5, 10, and 15 terabytes of storage. And then cloud, which can scale to any workload you need. From a reporter equivalent standpoint, the Broadcom statistics are over here for their different virtual machine reporters and their hardware. And And these are the equivalent ODIN. And then we do include support for the content analysis server, because as you may know, content analysis server puts the data into the proxy log stream, and we recognize all those and can report on them. Migration support is included with ODIN-I. We'll help you determine the proper size. We'll help you redirect your proxy logs into ODIN-I. We'll help with forking and saving the raw log files into a repository for reloading the data, just in case of an audit. And we'll help ingest legacy proxy SG logs into ODIN-I so that you can have the desired log history from day one. We also, of course, offer additional services to help connect different types of devices as required. Please contact us with any questions.